All right, this is the next part of my video. I guess part 3. On part 3 there is because it takes forever trying to hold the phone and do this, this goes right here. It's connected by springs on the back of the wheel, so because I got to take the wheel hub off of here, like I said in the previous video, and put it in the new axle with the differential. And this goes on here right like this on both sides. There's 1, 2 springs, and there's 2 clips that go in here. A spring goes in here. You could use a flathead to get the spring out. The clip goes down here, which here's the hole that a screw goes through right here if you have the springs in here like this, and that's the only way to get to the hub. There's a hole right here. There's a screw I can show you real quick. There's a screw that goes through right here. This screw goes through like that, and there's a clip, and here's your clip, and it goes through the big part of the clip, and you slide the screw down to the small part, and it holds the clip in place, and it's right here on each side. See, on this side I haven't got this clip off yet. I can go ahead and try to work on that real quick while I'm on this. I got all the bolts loose on here, and there's no point, I guess, in actually making a long video just for simple stuff. I got my calipers hanging on both sides. It runs all the way to this box. The box is, I can show you here in a second, it's over here. There's a box with your brake lines connected to it, and it goes up in the vehicle. And other videos will show you to undo the emergency brake where I showed you in the previous part. We're going to end up doing it right here. This is way easier. See this clip holding the emergency brake? So this clip, I got to get something, try to use a flathead. I'm gonna have to keep messing with it, get each clip through and pull that through here, or yeah, get the clip through. I'll have to figure it out and get this clip to where it, oh, sorry, okay, let me change what I was saying. Once I get this clip and I can slide it through, I got enough slack, slide this clip through here to where this line right here's a hole on the other side of this. Can you see it right here? See the opening? That line will come out the opening, then I can just slide that off just like that. This slides off of this clip, then my emergency brake lines are off. Over here there's a box down here. I could climb under here, show you, take a while, but there's like 1, 2, 3, there's 3 or there's 4 lines in a total. One line goes up through the Jeep, and it's got a bunch of guck on it and stuff, like a big old thick guck, like it's made to hold it in there. It could be the vacuum, I'm not quite sure. But the line that goes up into the back of the Jeep, like toward the trunk area, you know, the back latch, that line, you undo it with a wrench. It was real simple. That's what holds the box to the rear axle right here on the axle. Will hold it. Well, this right here is the upper control arm. I got it loose too, almost not hand loose. It's a star bit on this one, the other one wasn't. So somebody done messed with this, or they made it where one's a star bit on one side, the bolts on the other was just 2 bolts. You have to hold one side. There's a lot of things on here. You got to hold one side while you undo the other. The box over here, remember there's going to be a line that goes up to the Jeep, and when you undo that line with the open end wrench, I think it was a 13 or a 12, you'll figure it out. Just have your whole ratchet set with you and a bunch of wrenches with you, so you ain't got to keep walking back and forth like I was doing. It'll undo the screw. That line is actually the screw that holds the box to the axle that holds your brake. Your brake lines are connected to that box, so you don't have to undo. I don't know what videos you watch, you don't have to even undo your brake caliper. I'm gonna drop the axle, and actually there's a clip right here that my caliper, see this bolt? There's a bolt right here. I gotta undo this bolt, then my caliper is going to come loose, but it's connected to the axle right now. The box isn't. I've been undoing these clips. There's clips on that hold this to the axle. Here's a bolt with a clip. The rest of them were just with my fingers I could do. And then I got to still undo this bolt to put it on the new axle. And to be honest with you, I think I may have to undo the brake, the caliper one, and re-bleed them by what it looks like, because I'm gonna have to move all this to the new axle. I'm still sitting here debating. No, let me change that. By the way it looks, I just got to undo the other couple clips, undo this bolt right here with my fingers hitting at the coil spring, and then it'll be off of this axle after I get the clips. So all the lines will remain here with the Jeep, connected to the Jeep. The box down here with the brake lines connected to it, there's a hose. Remember, there's a hose on the top of that box, runs up in the Jeep. That's your line, that the open-end wrench, that's actually a bolt. So it might be a vacuum line or just a hose, but it might be a vacuum line, but when you undo it, the bolt holds the box that the brake fluid runs through, so you don't even have to undo that. When I drop this, the box is still gonna remain there. And I believe after I undo these clips, this bolt right here, my caliper and all that, will remain right here with the Jeep. And I'll just drop the whole rear axle. The hard part, this was a little hard, getting this hub off. You know, it's only 4 bolts that hold it on. You see, it's in neutral. I don't even have the jack safely, but I'm gonna try to get this clip. So you know there's a clip, you just get the clip through. This cable will come to the open end to get the emergency brake off, so you can put on the new axle when you get it up. And a lot of stuff's been rusted. If you ain't noticed, this is a rear bar. It's kind of like I don't know what the bar is called to be exact, but it helps hold the axle solid. It was so rusted, it broke right here. One of the bushings hit me and all that. I said in the other video, so I'm gonna have to get a new bolt. I might need to get a couple bushings too. And also, all I gotta really do is I got the control arm bolts loose that's connected to the axle. I'm gonna take them out as soon as I get these hubs off. But remember, there's springs in here where there's a gear right here. I guess the gear is actually part of the hub. But to get that hub off, like I showed you, let me find where I set them. Oh yeah, there's these. This will be on there held with springs and clips. You can use a flathead and needle nose to get that undone and stuff. It's not hard to figure out. What's going to be harder is figuring out how to put it back together. And but here we go. I still got this one. I got to get this clip right here, what I was doing earlier. Hold on 1 second. Let me get a glove on. Like I said, the drive shaft is easy. It's just 4 points, 4 bolts at the U point. I just pulled it off, laid it down. It's not connected to the differential no more. I mean, it's not really, it's just a lot of work. It's a lot of hours. I undid the shock on each side, pulled the bolt out. That shock definitely, well, it still works. It's tight. It's just the cover is rusted, but I'm not putting $1,000 into an old Jeep. I'm just trying to put the new rear end on. And now, so what I was doing was trying to slide this down. It was getting kind of complicated. And then I might stick it in here a little bit. Pry, it's not gonna mess up. Don't pry so hard where you're gonna break something. You know, just put enough manpower into it to where it'll move around to specifications. Try to hit the back of it a little bit here, see if I can get it. The pin actually, sorry, let me rephrase that. If you can push that pin out enough, see if I can do it with one hand. If not, I can go ahead and end this video until I get started on part 4. And the part 4 will be me showing you how to scrape the axle. Well, it's not, actually I won't do that because I told you, just make sure when you ever drain your fluid, if you're just draining fluid and not doing a whole axle swap like I am, when you take the plate off to drain it and stuff, always replace the gasket and look up what your fluid is. Remember, it's the last 8 digits of your VIN. Call your dealership. They'll tell you how much fluid it is, your ratio, if you're looking for an axle. It'll tell you how many quarts it'll take. It's usually 1.5, around that range. And then I'm gonna scrape all the the gasket and the gasket sealer that was on here previously, so I don't have to worry about a leak. Put my bolts into that one. It's only got 3, and I got new seals for the edge. So I haven't used a screwdriver. I'm gonna use a flathead and just try to pry those seals off to put the new ones on. It shouldn't be that hard. And go ahead and slide my hubs in it. It's going to be a pole that'll slide into that, which will should connect to a pin toward the middle, as I explained before. But once I got the bolts loose on the lower control arm, the upper control arm, I dropped the drive shaft, I got the shocks loose, had to take the springs and that clamp right here on the back, get the springs out. I still got to get this clamp out. It won't be hard. The screw moves around now. I got springs out. I'll have it out. Let me see. I can go ahead, maybe while I'm on this video, try to go ahead and move well, I can't really quite get this spring back far enough. Yeah, I can a little bit. It's hard to do it with one hand, to be honest with you, but it'll come out. You just got to mess with it. It goes out the back, the spring, that little nail looking thing, and this is a clip. So just try to remember how you take this apart. It's gonna be harder to get back together than taking off. The bolts well, they're covered in gunk. I'm gonna have to try to clean them off. It's right here's one with the sun shining, so it's hard to see. There we go. Here's one bolt, and it's just 4 bolts like you've probably seen on other videos. There's the second bolt where my finger is tapping. Right here's 1, here's 2, 1, 2 on each side. Then that way I can pull the hub right on out. And anyway, I'll get back to you to part 4, how it's going. And also don't forget, once I undo this bolt on the coil spring is going to come down with the axle. It just pushes up on top here. There's nothing up here I had to undo. It just slides on this. It'll push up as you put the new axle in. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just a lot of work. Oh yeah, and there's like a track bar right here. There's a bolt right here. It connects to the axle, but it connects to the frame right here. It's a star point on it also, like that one lower control arm is. I'm about to undo that. And then the track bar be loose. It come with one with it, with that on the axle, so I may just leave that one on there. It looks pretty straight. Mine don't look any healthier, so I'll probably just leave that one on it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get to work with that. I don't know whose dog that is, but anyway, I'll get back to a part 4 with getting the axle together. And y'all have a good day, and please subscribe.